This last section, not part of this week's content necessarily, but will be required for the final, is Java documentation or Javadoc. So we briefly talked about this before. Java docs, you can make them with very specially formatted comments. We're going to actually learn how to do that now that we've been building our own classes. So Javadoc is a tool provided by Java to generate documentation in HTML. So to actually make like a cool, nicely formatted, nicely interfaced documentation. The way it's able to create that is from the source code comments that you write. So you write these specially formatted Javadoc comments, and then Java will take care of the rest and actually generate a very nice looking documentation file. Really, it's a lot of files working together. So yeah, it helps developers understand what classes, methods, and fields do in your own, custom classes. So let's go through the syntax. So for a class, if you want to tell another programmer, right, what does this class do? Who made it? How does it work? You'd use this template. So it's very similar to a multi-line comment. Just notice the extra asterisk at the beginning. That's the only difference. So yeah, this goes right above the public class name declaration. So right above your class declaration, you're gonna put your class Java comment. You do the author tag to describe who made the code, who wrote the program, who wrote the class really, because multiple people, right, might be working on one program. And then here's the version. We go through different iterations of a class. We improve it, so version can be important. And then description goes here at the top. These spaces in between, they just make it a little bit more readable. Always a good idea to include the space. So here's an example Javadoc comment for a video game character class. Yeah, so here the syntax, right? Here's the actual example. So here's a description. We add little spaces. And then author version 1.0 right above our class declaration. Now, next up, right, when you're writing a class is the attributes. Well, if you want to document them, it's very simple. No special tags, right? Just the double asterisk comment here, multi-line comment, really Javadoc comment. And then you just write a description of what that variable stores or what it represents. So for example, health in the video game character, you'd say the current health points of the character. For the experience attribute or field variable, you'd say the character's current experience points earned from battles. So it helps other programmers know what these variables actually mean. Remember, if you write really good variable names, then the documentation is an afterthought. You don't even really need it. But real programmers always document their code. Real programmers don't always read the documentation, right? If it's well written code, then you can get away with sometimes not reading the docs. All right, so for constructors, you're going to do a brief description of the constructor. And if it does have params, remember default constructors don't have parameters, uh, then you wouldn't need to do this. But if it's a parameterized constructor, then you would actually describe each param with the param keyword here, the param tag, I should say, not keyword. The param tag with the ampersand, just like we saw with the author and version. So yeah, the parameter name and then a description of that parameter. Then the next parameter's name and the description of that parameter, and so forth. You do that for each parameter. So here's an example, right? If we were initializing the video game character object with health and experience values, then we'd say param health, the starting health value of the character. Param experience, the starting experience points of the character. And then the description. And then let's see. I think I have my things messed up. Let me fix that. Shouldn't be here. All right, so method documentation. This is probably the most complex one. So this is description first, parameters, just like we saw with constructors. But these have the extra tag of return, right? What's the return type? Or not return type, the return value of the actual method. So description of the return value. So yeah, so this is our template. Let's look at an example. So for the take damage applies damage to the character and updates the health and alive status, right? If we had attributes for that. So the parameter here is damage, so we describe the parameter, and then the return value is health, so we describe that return value. And yeah, that's Javadocs. I'll do a little demo where I actually write Javadocs for a class. We'll learn how to generate using IntelliJ tools, and then we'll navigate that Javadoc. We'll see how, just like the other Javadocs from the standard library, you can actually read it, see the methods. It'll look really cool. Even though we just wrote those really simple comments, it's going to generate some really nice looking interfaced documentation. And then I'll tell you how to share those files if you do want other people to see that documentation. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. That'll be in the next video.